The year was 1888. An Australian woman named Sophia Blackmore had arrived in Singapore the year before with a mission to start a school for Chinese girls in Singapore. Miss Blackmore, then a relatively young woman of 31, was wise beyond her years. She was a new missionary on her way to India when the Methodist Church in America appointed her to come to Singapore instead. She knew it would be a very difficult task, as girls did not go to school in Singapore at that time. She understood she had to proceed with patience, as this task was not something she could rush.
When she first arrived, she took time to know the people and make friends with the Nyonya mothers. Nothing could deter her. Through her resilience and perseverance, she finally began to recruit one little girl, and then slowly, one by one, more started to come. Eventually, there were 8 little Chinese Nyonya girls. That was how the school began on August 4, 1888, in the front room of a cross-street house with 8 small pupils. Starting the little school was an achievement, but Miss Blackmore was not satisfied with what she had already accomplished. She continued to visit families in their homes in Telok Ayer, and more pupils started to enroll in the school.
Thank you, Miss Sophia Blackmore, for your serving heart and dedication.
Nine years later, in 1907, Miss Mary Olsen, also known as the Tiger with a Golden Heart, saw that our school needed her and decided to become our second principal.
Most Fairfield students, past and present, know that our school began life in a cross-street townhouse in 1888. But did you know that in the early years, the school had to pack up and move at least 7 times before we had a building of our own?
It was through Miss Olsen's dedication and perseverance that we were able to raise a large fund to build our very first building at 178 New Road. And the biggest single pledge of donation came from an American known as Mr. Fairfield. That was how we got our name, Fairfield Methodist School.
During Christmas in 1912, we finally moved to our first building. The pupils were all proud and happy. More and more students wanted to come to Fairfield. We were bursting with more than 1,500 girls in the 50s, not only because it was a beautiful building, but also because of the excellent results achieved by pupils. In January 1983, we finally relocated to our current Dover site and officially became co-educational by welcoming boys into our school. Our curriculum has also expanded to include physical education, art, music, character and citizenship education, and more, offering diverse opportunities for the holistic development of each child to this day.
To end this video, we would like to quote a message from Mrs. Lim Bok Ki, our pioneer principals in 1958. Thank you, God, for our founder, Miss Sophia Blackmore.
In August 1918, a new music teacher, Miss Irene Chapman, arrived. She was also a missionary from America, and her services to Fairfield were highly valued.
In 1926, the biggest event came when a few Fairfield girls, encouraged by their teachers and principal, decided to raise money from their family and friends to buy a baby grand piano for their beautiful new school hall. And there was a great spirit of rejoicing when the girls realized they would get their baby grand piano.
Under Miss Chapman, many new songs were introduced, including the one that became the Fairfield School song in 1927.
Music and singing has always been a source of joy for everyone in Fairfield from the beginning.
Interestingly, the only object in the school that escaped destruction during the Second World War was the baby grand piano, which had provided the accompaniment to countless hymns and songs at chapel services.
Happy 136th Founders Day!